Listen to this. As a teenager, he struggled with depression and thoughts of suicide, but once he found his love for creative writing and poetry, it turned his life around, and now he's a self-published poet with a few books of his own. Meet Kevin Amon in this week's I Am Hampton Roads.
How you doing? My name is Kevin Amon. I'm an author of 3 poetry books. I started to get interested in poetry from my friend Scott Stanfield, who pretty much mentored me. It was actually in my teenage years. I was actually struggling with depression and I had a hard time, dealing with a lot of things growing up as a child, as far as, self-esteem issues and just everything in general. When you go to school, trying to find the right friends and trying to find the right people to hang out with and, just basically fitting in. I met a friend of mine who I worked with, and he showed me his poetry one day and pretty much introduced me to that, and it got me rolling, in a positive way to, happiness.
The power of a hug. It's a great sense of need and enjoyment.
It was definitely an escape for me, very therapeutic, and it's really changed me for the better as far as positive thinking and, learning to be happy through writing and so forth. And it's just a very a fun way to, engage in a positive way instead of doing something that's negative. In college, I wanted to write a book, and I just always thought about doing it because I had over probably 500 to 600, poems written. And it's all self-published, through a publishing platform called CreateSpace. The first one, Heartbreak and Pancakes, Love and an Empty Stomach, that one is my first original one, and mainly a lot of that was probably 18, 19 years ago, the stuff I went through with depression and everything. And that's a little bit of love, romance, and stuff like that put together. My second book is called Butterscotch and Body Slams, Wrestling with the Sweet Side, and that's a little bit of, again, relationships and so forth, and then current events and stuff that I like to, write about. And then my third book is Band-Aids and Barbecue, Mending the Wounded Soul. And it's, again, more current events and just stuff that happens in my life and stuff I, pretty much make up to as, as it goes along.
Play. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Hogan he's a big inspiration to me. He's a 9-year-old Cocker Spaniel, and when he was 4 years old, he ruptured his disc in his back and had surgery, wasn't able to walk again. So I wrote a poem about him in my third book called Born with 4, Left with 2. So it's a really inspirational poem about him and, through his struggles and then, overcoming, his injury. Hogan was ready to leave the hospital and recover at home. I wanted him near me, and I didn't want him to be alone. He makes me smile every day, I come home, if you have a bad day at work, whatever, and he's there, just always excited to see you. So it's like, expression through a dog's face is like, what life should be like about,
You don't want to play, you're always playing at home.
He means a lot to me, and he's just, he's like my child, so he's definitely inspirational to me, and he needs me, I need him, and we're pretty happy together.
It was a quiet night with a little breeze.
Dealing with life now, it's easier through writing, and I can just, as soon as I get my thoughts and feelings down on paper, I feel a whole lot better about everything, whatever's going on in my situation at the current time. So it definitely, it's a great way to, approach things. Hogan is my baby, and I will tell that to anyone I see. Sleeping by my feet, this is meant to be. My name is Kevin Amon. I'm a poet from Virginia Beach, and I am Hampton Roads.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I'm glad he's been able to find writing as his outlet. And, I know in the teenage years it can be tough, and he said he'd really battled depression, but this helped so much. And now he's published. He has a few books of his own.
Heartbreak and Pancakes. I love the titles of your books. That's good stuff, Scott.